Hey everybody, it's Celeste Joan, and today I am going to be showing you guys how I set up my, what I like to call my bullet planner for the school year. Last year I showed you guys what it looked like after I finished setting it up, but this year I actually want to show you guys me setting it up. That way you can get some ideas on how to make your own planner or make your own bullet journal or anything like that. So right now I am just setting up my monthly August spread, I guess, which is essentially the August title page is what I did last year. I did monthly title pages this year. I'm doing a monthly title page along with the month layout. Instead of doing all the month layouts at the beginning, I'm doing them throughout the planner. I outlined the entire month with what days is going to be in August. I wrote down my goals and to-dos. As you can see, I already kind of have this all penciled in. Right now I'm just going back over it, outlining it with pen, adding some color. For the word August, I chose reds and orange because it's getting into that autumnal season. Then I started highlighting the days of the week just by how I put them in my year at a glance with the same colors and everything. And then I'm going to go ahead write in the days of the week because some people like to start their weeks on Mondays, some people like to start them on Sundays. For my monthly spread, I like to start it on Sunday and go through Saturday, but for when I lay out my weeks, I like it to start on Monday, so it starts the first day of each school week. I went ahead and labeled in each day of the month. Around the page, I'm just doodling a little bit. As you can see, I put some balloons in, and I am attaching those to a suitcase because I am planning a trip with my mom for the end of August, and I just liked the balloons added onto it. It just looked kind of nice. So that's why I did that. And then at the top of the page, I'm adding in some lights. They're just a bunch of different colors. I saw this idea on Google when I was searching up August spreads, and I just kind of liked how it looked, so I kind of added it in for August. And then at the top, I also added in a watermelon and a jar of fireflies, just because it's the end of summer and those things just seem summery to me. And even though I'm only getting like 1 to 2 real weeks of like summer vacation, those things just still stand out to me as this kind of encapsulates summer. You know, I remember going out and holding fireflies and catching them in my hands when I was little, and that was just amazing. And then we go on to my sleep log. Now this is just for the month of August. Depending on how it goes for this month, I'll decide whether or not I want to put it in for every month. But basically at the top, I just wrote down every single hour of the day, starting from 5 p.m. going all the way up to 4 p.m. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, noon, 1, 2, 3, 4. I wrote down the days of the month all across the side. And then depending on whether I'm napping, sleeping, or awake, I will highlight in the hours that I am doing those things. And then around the top, I just added in some fairy lights because fairy lights are super pretty and they're just kind of relaxing. I used to have some hanging up around my room, but I took them down because I rearranged my room. So maybe I'll hang some up in my dorm room this upcoming year. So when I'm asleep, I'm gonna highlight in the time in blue. If I'm taking a nap, I'll highlight it in purple, and then if I'm awake, I'll highlight it in green. And that should be a pretty little thing. On the next page over, I made a chart that just says date and reason. If there's a time I'm up late, or if there's a time I don't wake up on time, I can look back on that and see what exactly the reason was for changing my sleep pattern. And then down in the corner, I just wrote some tips for things to do before bed. If you can't see them, it says put electronics away, drink water, use bathroom, brush teeth, fill in logs, and set alarms. And because I like my quotes, I went ahead and added a quote as well on this page, just so that there wasn't a lot of blank space. I like to have my space pretty much filled up. And it says, always end the day with a positive thought. No matter how hard things were, tomorrow is a fresh opportunity to make it better. And I just found that online. I don't know who the author of the quote is or anything, but I just thought that was a nice little quote to add in. And with August, it's gonna kind of be me getting back into the swing of, waking up on time, even though I can't do that for like the first half because I will be still going to work, so I'll have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day instead of 7:30 or 7 like I'm going to be waking up during the school year. So it'll be a little different to get into the hang of that. Next page over, I have my habit tracker for the month of August. I added some washi tape, as you'll see, around my entire bullet journal just because I finally bought some and I'm enjoying it. It's nice to hide mistakes with. So across the top, again, I just labeled each day of the month. Down the side, I have written down some things that I kind of just want to keep track of when I'm doing them, how often I do them. If you can't read them again, I'll just go through a few. It says awake by 9 a.m., Duolingo German streak, workout, hydrate, 1 soda or less, piano, make my bed, laundry, read, no spending, bed by 11 p.m., and write. And then we're going to head on over to the weekly spreads. So this is where it kind of turns into a planner instead of a bullet journal. Since I am going back to school, I like to have everything where I can see the entire week all at once. I can see everything that is going to need to get done that week. I can see everything that is due, all the activities I have and all of the assignments I have, I can see them all at once for the entire week. So now I am going back through some of the yearly things. Everything you just saw was for the month of August. This is all for the year. So books to read, I set up this nice little bookshelf. I completely forgot to show you guys me drawing all these, but I went ahead and set up this bookshelf, and then I'm putting some books in it. These are all the books I'm going to want to read in the 2019-2020 school year, so August through next July. And the books that I have written down, again, if you can't read them, The Tattooist of Auschwitz, One of Us is Lying, Becoming Odessa, and The String Diaries. So those are currently the 4 books that I have planned out that I want to read. If you guys have any book suggestions, please leave them below so that I can read some more awesome books. I'm always looking for new books to read, different types of books to read. I have a lot of books that I still need to read on my bookshelf, but I'm always looking for something different. I plan on reading 2 of them before I go back to school so I can give them back to my sister, and then the other 2 I will probably take with me. And I'll start those once I actually am back in my dorm and settled in to junior year of college. On the other side, I have my year feelings, I guess. I call it Inside Celeste. Some people call it Pixel in a year in a pixel. A year in pixels is what some people call it. And I just added another quote. This one is by Helen Keller. I had a quote by Helen Keller in my last planner as well, and it says, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." So I have my index of all the pages. Pages 8 and 9 are currently blank, just so I can kind of doodle in them, or if there's something else for the year that I want to put in and keep track of, I can do that. But I'm just kind of keeping those blank. And then I have my title page, my year at a glance, where I can just see all the months, all the dates, everything I need. And I have some washi tape to separate all those, which I found super cool. I have my monthly habit tracker, and I only have 4 things written out in it now. There's not much I know that I need to keep track of for each month, but there's some. And then I have my books to read. Each shelf is different. Got my fiction shelf, my non-fiction shelf, which is the majority of what I'll be reading. And then on the top one, I also have just books that I'm going to be rereading. So if there's any books that I reread for any reason, they're going on the top shelf. And then I have my Inside Celeste, or my year in pixels, or whatever you want to call it. Here I'll be filling out how I feel each day: productive, happy, average, grumpy, sad, sick, tired, blah. So that'll just be kind of cool to see how the year changes. And then I have my textbook tracker, which will be super nice to have all in one spot. Instead of having a bunch of papers printed off, I can just put down the class, the title, the price, whether I'm renting or buying the book, the seller, and then the return date if I'm renting it, and whether or not it's been returned or when it gets returned, all that fun stuff. And then I just have those 2 blank pages just in case I need to add anything in. And then I have my August spread, which turned out super cute and I super love it. It's just so colorful, and even though summer's ending, you know, school is beginning and I am super excited for school. Here's my sleep log. I added in some dotted lines, so in between there is the time that I'll want to be asleep. Not necessarily from 11 to 9 every day, because some days I have to wake up at 5, but definitely on the weekends I want to be asleep between those times. And then I have my date and reason on the other side, where I can write down why I'm awake late, or up early, or up late, or any of that fun stuff. And then I got my habit tracker for August. And I just love how all of these turned out. I added some dots on the side, and that's the color that I'll be coloring everything in. So again, it's just going to be super colorful, and I love it. And then I just have all my weekly spreads where I'll be able to put on my to-do list, all my assignments that need to get done, any activities that I have. And then I also added in a little highlighter color key that is taped into the beginning of the journal, so that I can check back and look at it in case I ever forget which color I need to highlight something in. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I am probably going to create a second Instagram account that is just primarily for my journals and my bullet planner and everything. So if you want to follow that, the link will be in the description below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!